Broadcasting live from the ESPN Radio Winchester studios, diving headfirst into Florida's finest brand of nonsense. It's time for What the Florida Friday on Franklin County's favorite morning show. The starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee. And now for your hosts, Joe Abraham and Chewy.
And good morning, and welcome into the starting lineup. Sorry about that. Had a little leftover of that, whatever it is that's going around.
Yeah.
I am Joe Abraham. He is Chewy. What the heck is your name? Board Lord.
Sure. Brett Crabtree already in the chat this morning.
Good morning, Brett.
W's in the chat for Brett. We saw Brett yesterday.
We did see Brett yesterday. I got a funny story about Brett from yesterday. No, good morning. Welcome into the starting lineup. ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester. I am Joe Abraham. He is the Wookiee one, Chewy, running the board. As per usual, making sure we sound tremendous, especially if you're listening on the ESPN Radio Winchester WCDT smartphone app, which you can download in your Apple App Store or your Google Play Store. It is a What the Florida Friday here on the show, and Chewy and I are still recovering this morning from yesterday. How exhausting was that, my friend?
It wasn't so much like physically exhausting as it was emotionally.
Yeah.
And like my chest actually still hurts.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's still tight. Okay, so for people who may not know, and you can get involved in the show this morning, 931-967-3500. You can text the show at 931-305-5611. You can also head on over to the ESPN Radio Winchester Facebook page and pull up the FMO Facebook feed. You can watch us live in studio this morning, just like you could watch the... Oh, I just messed up my mic. Just like you could watch the live stream of the graduation yesterday. But Chewy, you and I, we got a call. Well, I guess it was... Yeah, it was a call. It was a text. It was a call. It was a something. I don't know. The school reached out to us about a week or so ago and asked us to handle the live stream because they've had some issues in the past with the stream, and they want to make sure that that's something that, you know, grandparents and other folks can watch the graduation live online. And it can be challenging when they have so much to worry about, right? And so we were like, you know what? That's a great thing that we can do for them. Take that off of their plate, let them focus on the kids, let them focus on making it a special moment, and not have to worry about the headaches of technology. Let Chewy and I worry about we're experts in the headaches of technology.
We're experts in headaches.
And so,
Thank you, Brett. I appreciate you.
We said, yeah, sure, no problem. We went out, we figured out an internet solution so that we could, and I got to say thank you to Joey Marshall letting us use his Starlink so that we could ensure that we had pretty good signal, as good as could be expected out there in the middle of the football field.
Starlink, by the way, game changer for us.
Yes, tremendous. Good job by them. And so then we were trying to figure out, okay, we need to get some new wireless microphones. We need to do some other things. We wanted to get some microphones for the better wireless microphones for the football season anyway, so we made a good investment there. Here's the problem. Everything that we did prior to the event was working perfectly. Everything we tested, everything we plugged in, everything we tried, it went flawlessly. And we have a motto around here. It's kind of like Murphy's Law. If it can go wrong, it will. But our motto around here is that nothing can ever just be easy. Can never just work. Well, over the last, what would you say, 7 to 10 days, Chewy, everything that we've done in preparation for this thing has worked flawlessly.
Suspiciously.
And every time that we would try a new thing. We're like, this is going to be the thing that's gonna trip us up. And again, this is one of those things. Brett pointed this out yesterday as I was nervously pacing the sideline. Pointed it out yesterday. Well, it's not a big deal. It only happens once for these kids. You know, if we screw up or do something wrong, Grandma and Grandpa will, only miss their kids' graduation. It's not a big deal. Thanks for that, Brett. So we were very nervous going into this thing, and mainly because, Chewy, if we don't have any issues, right, then we don't know where to kind of anticipate where the problems are going to come from to react when they do come, which they will come. And so yesterday we hooked up, we test everything out beforehand. Everything worked great. And sure enough, we go live, and from the first moment we started with, there were issues with the new wireless mics, mainly that they are line of sight, and right where we were positioned, the kids, when they would go up on the stage, were standing right in front of the line of sight. If we had moved 20 feet to the left, we'd have probably had a clear line of sight for most of, if not all of it. But again, when we set up, nobody was out there, and didn't necessarily anticipate it being that hit or miss. So immediately people jump in and, hey, fix your sound. Thankfully, we're professionals at this, and we had some backup options. The heck was that?
What was that?
Uh-oh.
Is Rosie here?
No.
Oh.
I think the Gophers got in.
Oh, boy. That was interesting.
Anyway, we had some I may have to go check and make sure that the Dr. Pepper can didn't fall over.
Are you sure? I thought it came from back
Did
there.
it come from that way?
I don't know. Maybe now I don't know.
Oh, I'm freaking out, guys.
Oh,
there was a noise. I think somebody might have broken into the station. There's a noise in the station that we don't know what it is.
Brett Crabtree said, I can attest to the fact that Joe was scared to death about the graduation stream.
We were terrified for you guys. We wanted to present you the best that it could be, right? And it wasn't horrible. It could have been better. We learned some things, but I gotta say, all things said, Chewy, we made it through. We survived, and as stressed out as you and I were, everybody else was loving it. And it was. Here's the thing about the graduation yesterday. If you didn't go, that's the fastest graduation ceremony I have ever seen in my life.
It was really nice.
I remember my graduation ceremony. I think we had to take a break in the middle of it. It was so friggin' long.
Yeah.
It was like 3 hours. And it was from the time that we went live, and when I say live, put up the starting soon screen. From the time that we went live, which was 30 minutes prior to the event starting, to the time that it ended, it was only an hour and 15-ish minutes, which means when you take off the 30 minutes prior, it was like 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Locked, loaded, boom, they were done.
I'm all about it. I'm
if it had gone another 15 minutes, you and I would have croaked out on the sideline.
Sure. No, but I'm all about, listen, as quick a ceremony as you can get, I'm all about it, dog. I love whoever's idea this was to keep this short and sweet. It's awesome.
It was awesome. It was awesome to see everybody out there. You know what else was awesome? It was awesome to see the stands as packed as they were.
Yeah. I saw Isaiah, too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, saw a bunch of people out there. We gotta get Friday nights rocking and rolling like that. Fill up those stands like that. That was tremendous. I wonder how many people were there yesterday.
It was rather packed.
It was a lot. That's the most people that I've ever seen there at the football stadium. Hopefully we can
keep up that momentum.
Yeah, we can do that for football season one of these days. Anyway, I had a lot of fun. Katie was running around taking pictures. You should see some of the pictures she got. Absolutely beautiful. I got a slow-mo of them throwing their hats in the air.
Oh, great.
She got some really good pictures. And so we'll work on all that content and bring it to you guys. Beautiful night, just all the way around. Got through the ceremony quickly. Everybody got to celebrate the kids. The kids all looked and acted, behaved tremendously. There was no shenanigans, nothing like that. Yeah, I had a lot of fun when I wasn't, almost having a panic attack. That being said, Chewy, I'm still exhausted. How about you?
Extremely.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. Katie moved the couch in here, which I don't. Can you see it on the live stream? Can you see it behind me?
Yeah,
No, yeah, a little bit.
They're behind you. Yeah.
So, next therapy Thursday, I think we just need to
do it on the couch.
Yeah, somebody needs to lay on the couch, and we'll do actual therapy Thursday.
I like it.
Anyway, big sigh of relief. Today on the show, we've got some fun things to get into this morning, including the schedules. The NFL schedules came out, Chewy, and each and every year I like to go through and give some initial thoughts on the schedules. And so we may get into that. I may give you a Titans win-loss kind of prediction. The over-under on the Titans is 6.5. 6.5 is what Vegas thinks as far as the Tennessee Titans goes this year. So do you guys think over or under? I'll tell you what I believe here later on in the show. But goodness gracious. So Chewy, what's your big takeaway from graduation yesterday?
Chili.
You got anything?
Not. What do you mean, like revelation wise, or like
just like looking back? I mean, you're like staring off into space. I think you're still in recovery mode. You're still shell shocked a little bit.
I'm good. I'm awake.
The paranoia was real.
Yeah,
that's stressful. We beforehand we were like, is this how they feel when they're sitting in mission control about to send a rocket into outer space?
Basically, yeah. But that 30 minutes before the 7 o'clock hour was like. It was like being on a boat to D-Day. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I don't know if it was that extreme, but yeah, it was kind of like this impending, and we knew that it was going to be as soon as we hit the air, something was going to go wrong. Anyway,
Brett was letting everybody know that he got a picture of you, but also Katie says Walter's joke.
Walter wants me to tell a joke.
Oh, okay.
I was going to wait until Sammy D came in, but he may be listening.
Right.
He's probably got. I don't know. He's probably in the car taking the kids to school, so I'll tell it. All right. Walter's joke. I told his other one earlier in the week. I'm going to go with the Sammy D one. I think this is a good one for Sammy D. Chewy, why are police officers always stinky?
I don't know.
Because they're always on duty. That's a Walter joke.
Dang, Walter.
All right.
I didn't know Walter was cool like that.
Yeah, he's got some pretty good ones.
Yeah.
It's also speaking of Sammy D, it's also a What the Florida Friday, where in which is late night TV dead?
Yes.
We'll talk about that. I came across a story, Chewy, about.
Hey, Sam Davidson said great joke.
Hey.
And Andrew just jumped in this morning. Good morning, Andrew.
I came across another story about a new dinosaur that they found.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Ancient Earth, which I think was Ancient Earth weird?
I don't remember Ancient Earth.
I think Ancient Earth was weird.
Okay.
I think things were a lot bigger back then.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a show.
No.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was weird. And did you know that they came out with a new Yellowstone show? They got like a
spinoff?
Yeah, they got like 15 of them.
Wait,
at
there's
this point.
more than one Yellowstone spinoff?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not know this.
This one is supposed to be actually good, though. Got 100 on Rotten Tomatoes, which is higher than like Yellowstone actually got.
Wow.
And I'll tell you what it is, but it's a new one.
You know that bootleg Lego that they have at Walmart now?
Yeah.
I saw a Yellowstone set. It was
Really?
like a cow skull. And I was like, that's weird. Like you're building a Lego. Like I'm just picturing a 45-year-old man buying a bootleg Lego set.
Well, you know what surprises me about Lego, and I thought about this the other day, is all of the things that Lego attaches it to, like Star Wars. We've had this conversation as well. Star Wars, I remember when Lego started officially like licensing some of these things, and it was really cool. Why has Lego not teamed up with the NFL or college to do like official football stuff? I think that would be absolutely lucrative.
Probably. And I would venture to say there's probably been some discussion, but I would say it's probably because Lego's location. They're not American, and they probably don't care about American sports. You know what I mean? That would be my only thing. But at the same time,
missed opportunity.
They did have basketball players for a little while. Do you remember this?
No.
They had special little basketball minifigs where the legs had springs in them, and you could put a basketball, like a little toy basketball, in the Lego man's hand and pull him back, and he would toss the basketball into a goal.
That's funny. I was just thinking about you as a Lego minifig. They'd have to make special arms for you. Went all the way down to
All right, we can take a break now.
come with and two, you'd come with like accessories. You'd have obviously a beanie, that would be
Sure.
And
you can make custom Legos.
You'd have a beard.
Yeah.
And then one of your accessories would be like a grilled cheese.
I like
you'd have to wear your glasses.
Wait, hold on. Brett Krebs says, Chewy, I know you're not knocking Lego building adult sets. No, I'm not. I'm talking about like specifically the image of like an old man buying a Yellowstone set because it's Yellowstone. Do you know what I mean? Like
two
him
demographics don't really go together. Is that
yeah. That's
maybe
what I'm saying.
that's why they don't have the sport ones, because like Star Wars and Lego, those two things.
We know what connects that bridge there. I've got it really bad. But
listen though, I'm telling you what, if they made Lego sets where it was like, well, for me, it would be Bryant-Denny Stadium. If it was Alabama's and you could build the football stadium in Lego, if they made teams like where you could have the
like
teams,
you could collect your team name.
Yeah. Well, not just the name, but you could put the player, build out the players, and the minifigs would be in their uniforms and stuff like that. Dude, I am telling you what.
They do those, like, if you go to Target, they actually have a dual Lego aisle, and one of them is, like, the licensed stuff, and then the other aisle is, like, the adult sets, and a lot of them have those, like, architecture sets where they're, like, the small models. Mm-hmm. I don't know why they don't do stadiums, especially, like, unique stadiums, but, like, you're 100% right. I'm just thinking about this now. Like, soccer stadiums, at least, like, worldwide, you want to talk about global, like, that seems like a no-brainer to me, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge over there, right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine, like, Manchester United?
Exactly. Like, and it comes with, like, all the top little soccer players.
Okay, Brett Crabtree, if they came out with a $150, $250, but it was like a Neyland Stadium, tell me you would not get that.
Yeah. And it comes with like a little, like, like coaches and like some of like star players.
Some of the players, a couple of the players. I mean, these players, we're giving them all this NIL money. Take my money now.
They have those little minifig mystery packs. I don't know why they don't pick an NFL team and do one of each. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, well, especially the NFL players. But I'd end up getting, like, who wants Shador Sanders?
Brett Crabtree says they do that. It's called Bricks. There's a Neyland Stadium set that I do want. What? There's like a knockoff. Okay, so BRIX, and they're doing sports Lego. Now that's genius. So there you go. Lego never filled the need. Now someone else is doing some awesome reverse benchmarking.
All right, I'm gonna have to research this. Let's take a break because I gotta figure out where I can buy one of these things.
All right.
Be back on the other side. It is the starting lineup. A What the Florida Friday here on ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
The starting lineup with Joe and Chewy is presented by Loco in Winchester. Right here in Winchester, Loco is doing things their own way. From locally roasted Loco coffee to a one-of-a-kind shop experience. It's a place that's built for the Franklin County community. So if you haven't stopped by yet, now's the time. Support local. Drink Loco coffee, fueling Franklin County mornings. Roasted right here in Franklin County. And don't forget to tune into the starting lineup, weekdays from 7 to 9.
Stimulant misuse can take many forms. It may involve abusing methamphetamine or prescribed ADHD medication. Both carry real risks when not used safely or under medical supervision. Prevention starts with education and open communication. The Franklin County Prevention Coalition provides tools and local resources to help families make informed decisions. When we stay proactive, we are stronger together, and we are stronger without it. Learn more at fcpctn.org. This project is funded under a grant contract with the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
From the 931 Weather Center, it's time for an ESPN Winchester weather update. More warm weather headed your way. Today's going to be a bright, sunny day with a high of 79 degrees this afternoon. Calm winds becoming around 5 miles per hour in the morning and staying that way for the rest of the day to keep you nice and cool on this hot summer's day. Stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester for all of your wonderful weather updates.
Most local businesses don't overspend on advertising, they misspend on it. They throw things at the wall to see what sticks. Some radio here, a boosted post there, maybe a billboard somewhere else, with none of it working together. At ESPN Radio Winchester, we focus on reducing wasted marketing dollars. When your message is consistent and strategically placed across trusted local media platforms, every dollar reinforces the next one. That means more people remembering your name when it matters. Market smarter with ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Tune into the starting lineup on the FMO Facebook feed. Just go to Facebook.com/ESPN Winchester. Now, back to Joe and Chewy.
All right, back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. To tell you how invested I am in looking for Neyland Stadium in Lego form, I meant to get up and change the computer's screen in the background. It's still on the Unleashed with Chewy, which you can tune into each and every afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m.
We have a guest this afternoon, 2 guests.
Yeah. Who you got?
I
I don't know.
I have their name written down. I'll tell you in the next segment after this break.
No, I know that we've got actually a Franklin County student coming on this afternoon who is a musician, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a joke. I do know who it is. I just don't want to spoil it. So stay tuned this afternoon, 2 to 4.
Okay, Neyland Stadium Lego. If I Google this, Chewy, nothing really comes up as far as, because I even Googled, you told me to do like the mock where maybe somebody built it on their own. Nothing. Now, Crabtree sent me this thing from FOCO, FOCO, and it is the Neyland Stadium. Here's the problem. It's not detailed enough. It kind of looks like crap, right? I've seen way better like concepts. We're talking about it just doesn't. It's
Joey Rahim has high quality standards when it comes to Lego sets.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't get me excited. Okay, and for $85, I would rather pay 2 or 3 times that and have it be really, really cool. This is like kind of like a kid made it. You know, you can tell what it's supposed to be, but it doesn't blow me away. And I'm just saying, if they can make, how much does the Millennium Falcon cost nowadays?
Depends.
Like
I think mine was
really
like $189.
Right. The really detailed one is insane. But if they can make the ones that are like $300-$400, dude, team up with you would I bet you'd sell a lot of these stadiums because it's right in the age demographic. People my age and even a little bit older grew up playing with Lego, and now they are the ones that are spending $1,000. Well, not me, but they're the ones that are spending $1,000 on tickets to go to these big games, or $300 on tickets to go to these games. And you're telling me that they wouldn't want to put something like that up on their shelf in a heartbeat? In a heartbeat.
Or even just things like Lego baseballs. You know what I mean? Like, why isn't that a set? Like, just a baseball. You know what I mean? Like a life-size baseball.
Right.
And stuff
they make
like
flowers.
The flowers are made. I love the flowers.
If you could tell me that I could collect all of my teams, Yankee Stadium. And then, too, you could do old, like, retro stadiums.
Mm-hmm.
You could build out the older stadiums that people have connection with. I don't know if they're going to build municipal stadium for the Cleveland Browns. But I'm just telling you, it's a missed opportunity, Drew.
Yeah, like you could also do like the logos, like Sports Sets logos for
Yeah.
Legos. You know what I mean?
Somebody could, in a heartbeat, build out the Tennessee logo.
Easy.
You wouldn't even need. You just need orange Lego.
I guarantee you that mock art exists, the UTT.
Probably.
You know what I mean? But I'm saying, like, I think it would be wise to make it part of a series. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because, like, some of these Lego sets, they're part of a series where they connect together.
Ooh.
Like, and so I think it'd be kind of cool if they did that, where it was, like, all of the football team, like, NFL team logos, where they all kind of connect together. That'd
You
be
do
neat.
helmets?
Helmets would be just as fun. And also, like, that sounds like a minifig that's possible. A little football player, are you kidding me? That sounds like you could do that.
Right. Well,
Anyway.
it's funny too because one of the leagues that popped up a few years ago, I can't remember. It wasn't the UFL. Maybe it was the UFL. But the Birmingham Stallions, whatever it was, the league that they were in, took Jack to one of their games, and they had it wasn't Lego. It was one of those other brands, but they had Birmingham Stallion minifig players.
That's cool.
Yeah, and we bought one.
You still got it?
I don't know. It was his. He probably lost it.
Landon just jumped in saying, "Morning, fellas." We saw Landon last night.
Morning, Landon. How's the North football team coming along? So Jack is this is their first week in pads.
So I've been hearing a little bit about what's been going on.
Jack made his first 8th grader cry yesterday.
Boom. and now, tell everybody, what grade is he in?
7th.
Exactly.
Well, he's a rising 7th. He's a 6th grader. He made a rising 8th grader cry yesterday on the football field.
Legend. Stonewall Jack. The legend of Stonewall Jack begins.
Took him 4 plays to go from scout team defense to starting offensive line the other day.
4 plays.
4 plays. And then defensively, he's just a menace, dude. It's insane.
He's a menace, he says.
He's a menace to society. He's got like a switch, like he's so nice and quiet, and honestly, he's got like a sensitive side and all that type of stuff. But man, you put a football helmet on him,
it's over, dude.
Yeah, it's scary.
Maybe that's why he's so calm. You know what I mean? Like, because he saves it.
I don't know. It's scary. It's cool, but it's scary.
Landon jumped back in saying, "Working hard, trying to get prepared for Tuesday. Have a lot of support from the coaches and players from the high school. Good to hear."
Yeah, tremendous. All right, so where was I going? Oh, you know what I wanted to talk about this morning, Chewy? Outside of the fact that I think you and I need to take some steps long term, okay, to protect our health. Because next year, come graduation next year, I don't think you and I are going to make it through another one of these. One of the two of us is going to lose that bet come next year on the sideline.
The calcium just spiked after you mentioned it.
Yeah. But speaking of over-unders and betting and all the things, the Titans over-under is 6.5. That's the Vegas line on the number of wins that they're going to have this year. Now, I have a few, before I get into my opinion on how many games the Titans are going to win, I have a few things that I look at when I am kind of look at preseason, when I'm looking at teams that are going to be rising and teams that are going to be falling. And I want to lay them out for you real quick. And these are going to sound familiar because I've said these to you in the past, but we've got a lot of new listeners since the show started. One of my beliefs, Chewy, is that just about every year, almost like clockwork, 50% of the NFL teams that made the playoffs the year prior will not make the playoffs this year, right? Last year, it was the Kansas City Chiefs. But what's ironic about that statistic is year after year after year, is almost like clockwork. 50% of the teams in the playoffs the year prior fall out of the playoffs. But every year, you listen to ESPN, you listen to the Fox Sports Network, you listen to any other like media company that covers the NFL, and it's the same teams. They have no imagination. They can't wrap their head around the fact that maybe this year the Bears missed the playoffs, even though last year they looked like a team on the rise. They were on the verge and all these things. No, 50% every year, regardless of what they look like last year. But people can only imagine. They can't get the vision of them doing what they did last year out of their head. And it's the same thing for the bad teams, right? People can only imagine the Browns and the Titans and the Jets sucking again this year, which is why the win-loss is the way that it is. Now, as far as the NFL goes, they just rolled out their schedules. All the teams did. And I'm excited for the Titans for a couple of reasons. Mainly in that I believe a lot of it will depend on Cam Ward, their starting quarterback. I think that this year they have a very real chance. Like, their floor to me is 6 wins. I think that they have a very real chance, depending on how he does and how some of these younger guys, I could see them improving to 7, 8, 9 wins. But it all really rests on Cam Ward. More on that in a second. Another thing that I look at when I'm looking at these teams and I'm trying to determine, okay, which 50% of the teams are going to take the step up and which 50% are going to take the step down. One of the things that I look at is turnovers, turnover margin. How many times did they give the ball away and how many times did they take the ball away? If you look at last year, and why this is important is because last year, for example, the Chicago Bears had a plus 22 turnover differential, which is tremendous. They led the league by far. Second was Houston at plus 17. Third was Jacksonville at plus 13. But here's the problem with that. You cannot rely on turnovers to necessarily win you ball games. In that turnovers, you can impact, you can coach for turnovers and be aggressive, but you can't control whether or not the other team is going to turn you the ball over necessarily week after week. And if you're one of these teams that last year led the team in turnovers, creating turnovers, what do you think that the other team is going to prepare for when they're facing you? Ball security. Let's make sure that we don't give them any free chances, any free opportunities. And so the Bears number at plus 22, despite the fact that that's one of the things that they work on, and that's one of their principles, right? Everybody wants to create turnovers. You think that the New York Jets want to be minus 19 in a turnover differential last year? No. Now, some of it is quarterback play. What style of quarterback did you have? Was he loose with the football, throwing it all over the place? And I get all of that. But the point is, the law of averages would have you assume that a team that was way up here at plus 22 or a team that was way down here at minus 19, they're going to kind of creep more towards the middle. Now, if you consider the Chicago Bears and how quickly they rose from mediocre to one of the best teams in the league, and you match that up, yes, they changed coaches. Yes, they got better. I get all of that. But did they exceed expectations? Yeah. Part of the reason why is because they were freaking plus 22 in the turnover differential. So if that number comes down, I would fully expect the Bears to come down to earth a little bit. Consider, every time the ball is turned over, what is that worth? There's a number that's tied to that. In fact, Tennessee was -5 in turnover differential. A turnover is usually worth somewhere around 4 points of game value. Okay? So now consider, all right, the Chicago Bears, who were at plus 22, say they fall to only plus 15. That means that they went from, let me do the math here. I'm not a good mathematician. So if you what's 8 times 4, Chewy? 8 times 4 is 32 points. 32 points. Okay, how many one-score ball games were they in? If they were in 8 games that were decided by 4 points or less, that could flip those wins all to losses.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
Or if they won a game by 8 points, and now this year they play that same team. Say it's the Vikings. They won last year. They won a game by 8 points. Well, they had a bunch of turnovers in them because J.J. McCarthy sucked. Well, now say that flips back around. Now that 8-point win, you're looking at a even Stevens right there. Good show.
So let me ask you this then. You say 50%. How do the other 50% slip through? Is it because they're aware of the fact that people are going to be attacking their normal things, so they decide to change up their strategy, or are they the ones who fall through because it wasn't necessarily a strategy, like you said, these 4-point game or less? It was just like they're just a really, really dominant team. Is that sort of like the difference?
Well, that's where you got to figure out which teams are built off of, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are a good example of this, right? So year after year, the Pittsburgh Steelers here as of late, they haven't been they haven't had spectacular talent. They haven't done anything special, but they're always a 10-win team. Why? It's because foundationally they've got a strongly built foundation. They play football the right way, or at least they did under Mike Tomlin. And they're in a lot of close games. You don't blow the Pittsburgh Steelers out, right? When was the last time you saw the Steelers lose by 20 points? You don't see that necessarily happen. And if you build a team kind of with a strong foundation like that, there's less variable for swinging one way or the other. You're not going to be amazing. You're not going to be spectacular necessarily, but you're also not going to suck really, really bad.
Right.
You're kind of in the middle there, right? And that goes back to things like culture and principles of the coaching staff and things like that. Things that you can instill. Not starting quarterbacks that are going to turn the ball over a bunch, but they're also not going to they're not going to be spectacular per se. Right now, Aaron Rodgers, he is a safe bet at quarterback. But today's Aaron Rodgers is not 10 years ago Aaron Rodgers, right? Where 10 years ago Aaron Rodgers, he did things. So if you're in a one-score game, the average team plays a lot of one-score games. What separates Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers of the past from, some of these other guys? Their ability to show out and be the difference in a one-score game. Chewy and I both have teams that are almost equal across the board, but my quarterback is special. And by special, I mean that he just in those one-score games can get me a little bit more. He's a little bit better. I can be a little bit more comfortable. I can throw a pass. I can run a play that is a little bit harder for the average dude to accomplish. I can put a little bit more faith in that guy. And the difference between average or backup and special in the NFL is so small. It's so small. The guys who are on the bench, the talent that's on the bench, a lot of times if you put them in shorts and they're just throwing the ball down the field and running plays in practice, you'd look at them and you'd be like, that guy's every bit as good as that guy.
And that's the coach killer, right?
Yeah, that's the coach killer. Because then when you put the wrong guy in the game, that's when you realize, oh, this guy goes all Lamar Jackson in the playoffs when I put him in the game. He craps down his leg, he fumbling the ball, he's turning it over, he's making mistakes, and the moment becomes too big for his talent. And then you've got other guys who you look at him in practice and you're like, okay. But then when he gets in the game, it's like his play elevates and you're like, holy crap, where's this been? And that's kind of the difference. Everybody in the league has a little bit of that. Teams have a little bit of that identity as well. So it's figuring out, okay, why? Why was one team, and the Chicago Bears scare me. I love the Bears. I love what they're doing. I think that they are going to continue to be one of the better teams in the league. But they scare me in that they performed out over their skis last year. They outperformed expectations by a lot. Caleb Williams, by a lot. And I'm still not sold on that guy at times. Now, ultimately, are they going to fall out of the playoffs? Not sure. That foundation that they've built up might be good enough to where they're just now a perennial playoff team. But if they were to miss this year, it wouldn't necessarily surprise me if they came crashing back down to earth. Because you look at that division, you look at the other teams, and there are a lot of variables that you got to look at. So when we come back, I'll tell you a little bit more about where I feel about the Tennessee Titans and where they are at. Another thing to consider when looking at these teams, Chewy, and whether or not they're going to make or miss, is these one-score games. 2 years ago, the Chiefs won every one-score game that they were in. Last year, they lost almost every one-score game that they were in. These close games. And so, ultimately, you got to expect that you're going to be in X amount of one-score games. Is your team one of these teams? I think the Titans are. Are the Titans a team that can be in a lot of one-score games? I think that they are. So the question then becomes, do you have somebody special that is going to win you more one-score games than they lose you? Are they special enough for that? And we'll talk about what that looks like and what some of these, maybe some of these 50% of the teams that are going to fall out of the playoffs this next year, who those teams are. We'll do that next on the starting lineup. ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester.
This spring, take pride in your yard with Flagship Lawn Services. From mowing and trimming to mulch and full cleanups, they deliver professional results at a fair, honest price. And with their Flagship Finish Guarantee, every job is done right, or they'll make it right. No shortcuts, no hassle. Just a yard that looks the way it should. Call or text Flagship Lawn Services today at 239-849-4033 and see the difference for yourself.
Spring is in the air, and so are fresh new savings at Furniture Merchandise Outlet, FMO, right here in Tullahoma. Ready to refresh your space? From living rooms and bedrooms to dining sets and mattresses, FMO has the styles you want at prices you'll love. No long waits, no sticker shock. Just take it home today. Visit them at 105 North Jackson Street in Tullahoma or browse anytime at FMOTN.com. Furniture Merchandise Outlet, where spring cleaning turns into a spring upgrade.
Y'all still doing swap and shop? Is this swap and shop? Is this swap and shop? Hi, I'm calling for swap and shop. Swap and shop? Swap and shop? Swap and shop? Swap and shop. Wait, where's swap and shop?
That's right, Franklin County. Swap and Shop is back and better than ever. Call in just like you used to, and now you can list your items online at 931go.com. Catch us Monday through Friday starting at 10 a.m. only on ESPN Radio Winchester 1340, 1069.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
The Winchester City Council has moved forward with its proposed 2027 fiscal year budget with the first reading on May 12th at City Hall. The proposed budget totals $14.5 million in expenditures, while projected revenue stands at approximately $16.39 million, representing a roughly 31% increase over last year's $12.54 million in revenue. City officials say the increase is largely driven by economic growth and approximately $3.94 million in grant funding. The drafted budget did not include property tax increases and provided a 4% cost of living and merit raise for city employees. However, rising healthcare insurance costs have sparked concern. Insurance premiums are projected to increase by 18%, which prompted Councilman Mike Foster to question whether the proposed raises will truly benefit employees. Foster warned that without additional action to offset the insurance hikes, the city risks losing workers. Finance Director John Pritt described the current proposal as a baseline, noting the council still has flexibility to adjust figures before the final approval. The budget will also fund 4 new full-time positions, including a patrol officer, a firefighter, a human resource employee, and an engineering intern. Major capital projects include $2.7 million for Phase 1 of the City Hall renovation and expansion project, with the overall low bid for the full project coming in at $6 million. Additional capital purchases included $150,000 for a tracked skid steer loader, and another $150,000 for solar lighting upgrades at the Bass Club, tennis courts, and Adventure Mountain Playground. During an appearance on ESPN Radio Winchester's starting lineup, Winchester City Mayor Sean Crabtree emphasized that changes tied to growth and development will not happen overnight, adding that continued community support and patience will be key as projects move forward. For more details on this story and more, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
This is Daryl from Columbus, previously from the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Check in scissor hands. I'm the wrong guy to ask, but what's the secret to a good haircut?
A good haircut makes you feel confident. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, when you get that haircut, you're going to walk out that barbershop, you're going to look in the mirror, and you're going to be like, yeah, that's it. And you're going to tip the barber.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, weekdays at 3 Eastern on the ESPN app and on the SEC Network.
Well, that was an interesting last segment. Let's try that again. Back to Joe Abraham and Chewy. This is the starting lineup on ESPN Radio Winchester.
All right, back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio, 1340, 1069, WCDT, Winchester. Joe Abraham alongside Chewy. So, Chewy, in the chat, I saw a question from Brett Crabtree about what's your over-under for FC this next season. I would say, as of right now, I would say my personal over-under with them is probably 4.5. 4.5. I think that's just right now. Which, if you think about it, if they go over, that's 5 wins. But based on where I'm at right now, 4.5. Which would be a big step forward, I think. Consider that Tullahoma, I think, won 5 games last year. So, Chris Lambert says, the W is what matters. I think your math on this is unreliable. A team having a bunch of close losses is still a team that lost, and because they lost doesn't mean that they will have a W the next time. Yes, being competitive is better than getting blown out, but the good teams get the Ws. Titans are awful. Go Lions. So, okay, to Lambeau's point, yeah, obviously getting the win is important. And there are teams that have difference makers. And this is what I'm saying is, when you look at most of these teams, the team at the top of the league versus the team at the bottom of the league, you think that there's this huge gap, this huge talent gap, this huge coaching gap, there's not. There's not. It is about the small things. That is, from my time in coaching, from my time around these guys, and it's very much like, Chewy, if you were to create a chemical compound, right? And you have 2 compounds that are almost identical. And the reason that they're almost identical is because they're using the same exact compounds. It's just one has 0.5% or a 0.1% more of this compound versus that compound. That's what you're dealing with in the NFL. All of these coaches have, like, you talk about the what is it, 7 degrees of separation? Mm-hmm. All of these coaches have way less than 7 degrees of separation. They got like 2.
Even the worst ones.
They all know what the other ones are doing. They've all served in some capacity on some staff with somebody else that served with somebody else that was with somebody else that's winning Super Bowls. You can't tell me that the guys who are the head coaches of the Jets don't know what the guys who are the coaches of the Seahawks are doing. They know, okay? These coaches and these players. Players is another one. The talent on these teams. And so a lot of times what it comes down to is certain things like intangibles, certainly. Again, which is what I referenced, if you've got a lot of one-score games that you're in, what are the guys who are going to give me the advantage? A turnover's worth 4 points. Guys, we're going to focus on, and a lot of these coaches, they will. They'll focus on 3 principles. 3 principles. They'll say, okay, it's kind of like baseball. Baseball, you got 162 games. 162 games. We're going to win 60. We're going to lose 60. So us being good versus us being bad is about 40 games. We got to win 40 games, or in those 40 games, we got to win 30 and only lose the 10. That's what it's at. Then you're a 90-win team, 95-win team. So what Lambeau is saying is that math doesn't matter. That is not true at all. Math matters a lot in these scenarios. You look for the opportunities. Where can we find, if we can get one turnover, if we can get one turnover, that's 4 points. If we can win the field possession battle, win special teams. Special teams is not offense or defense. People talk about offense and defense and how that's so important. You know that the most yardage is up for grabs during special teams. It's things, it's these small things, these intangibles at times that players have, but things that you can't quantify sometimes. It's just, what are these teams going to focus on, and are they going to win these one-on-ones? Are they going to win these battles? So, yes, the Titans, I'm not saying that the Titans are there, but if you look at the Titans' schedule right now, there is a very winnable 6 games on their schedule. Heck, they might go 3-1 against the AFC North. I don't think that the Steelers are going to be very good this year. The Ravens switched their coach. The Bills switched their coach. You know how much turnover affects a team? It's a lot. Again, we just talked about the principles of these coaches. They all have a lot of the same core principles. The Browns, for example, they hated Kevin Stefanski and the fact that he was non-communicative. They love their new coach because he's different. They won 5 games last year. This is a team that has a talent level. A few years ago, they were pretty good, and they've got a lot of really good young talent on their team. The biggest question mark is quarterback. If they had a quarterback, this would be a team that a lot of people would be scared of. It'd probably be the favorites in the division. But you look at the AFC North. Cincinnati Bengals, constant question mark with Joe Burrow. The Pittsburgh Steelers, who were a perennial 10-7 team, they don't even know who their quarterback is going to be. Is Aaron Rodgers going to be back? Don't know. They drafted Drew Aller. They got the Howard kid from Ohio State. They'd be great if they were playing in the 2024 college football playoff. And then the Ravens, with Lamar Jackson and with all the talent that they had, went 8-9 last year. Nobody saw that coming. Everybody pegged the Ravens as their division winner. In fact, everybody this year pegs the Ravens as like a 10, 11, 12 win team. Why? They just had a coaching change. But in your head, you think of the Ravens, you think of Lamar Jackson, you think of Derrick Henry, and they're going to be in a lot of close ball games. They're going to have a good defense and all that type of stuff. Maybe that's not their identity anymore. Did anybody expect the Jacksonville Jaguars to go 13-4 last year? No. Lambo, you want to know why the Jacksonville Jaguars went 13-4 last year? Math. They had a plus 13 turnover differential, and they won a lot of one-score games. They won a lot of close games. And the rest of their division was trash. Houston took a huge step back, in my opinion. Yeah, they still won games, but I think that they showed that they have weaknesses. I don't know if they're going to ever get beyond where they're currently at. And in fact, I could see the South. I could see Jacksonville and Houston both taking huge steps back. The Colts were a 500 team. That division last year, to me, is an anomaly. I don't see any one of those teams, the Jags or the Texans from last year, I don't see any one of those as a high-quality football team. I think that the best quality out of the AFC, in my opinion, was in the AFC West. And the Chiefs went 6-11. But the Broncos and the Chargers, to me, were the two highest quality teams in the AFC, out of the AFC West. And then the Patriots came out of absolutely nowhere. The Bills, who went 12-5, fired their coach. Chewy, the Patriots are dealing with this whole Mike Vrabel situation. Is that distracting enough? Winning 14 games and only losing 3, when you're talking about how slim the margin is, and the amount of distraction that Mike Vrabel has gone through with this whole Rossini thing, I could absolutely see them being a 500 team this year. The Buffalo Bills, for the first time in the entire Josh Allen era, essentially are without McDermott as their head coach. Could they come crashing back down? The hope is you bring in a coach who improves the team. When you're 12-5, who's the guy that's going to get us over the hump? It's hard to improve on 12-5 when you're replacing a head coach. Even if he's Nick Saban, doesn't matter. Part of the reason that they are where they are, and part of the reason why the Steelers are where they are with that consistency there, is because the culture does not allow them to fall below a certain point. They've raised their standard is above most teams, which is why the Browns and the Titans suck right now. Is their standard of like kind of their average, where their bar is much lower than other teams. They've got to raise the floor. And I think that they've put work into that. All right. I personally think that the Titans are going to go over the 6.5. That's what I personally think. I think that they could be a 7-8 win team. Do I think that they're going to win the AFC South? No, not yet. But I think that they've made some positive strides. And I think that there are some teams in their division who are going to take major steps back. The Jaguars and the Texans are not going to win a combined 25 games next year. It's just not going to happen. Let's get a break in here. Hour number 2 coming up on the other side. It is the starting lineup. ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
You ever go down the rabbit hole at 2 in the morning and come out questioning everything? That's kind of what it's like listening to Unleashed with Chewy, presented by Burrow's Termite and Pest Control. That's right, this isn't your typical show. We're going to be talking conspiracies, space, movies, science, whatever our brains have got spinning that day. Some days make sense, most definitely don't. Either way, we're going to have a great time. Unleashed with Chewy, weekdays from 2 to 4 on ESPN Radio Winchester.
Stay connected to Franklin County wherever you go with the WCDT Radio smartphone app. Presented by High Point Health System
with Ascension St. Thomas. With just a tap, you can listen live to ESPN Radio or the all-new Tim's Ford Country, streaming your favorite sports and outlaw country hits right to your phone. And it's CarPlay enabled, so you can take us on the road wherever you go. Download it today in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Just search WCDT Radio or visit WCDTradio.com.
Or a party to plan. Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or check out everything they offer online at ReliableRentalFC.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
When life hits you hard, you need someone who will stand up and fight back for you. Andy Davis, attorney at law, serves Southern Middle Tennessee in personal injury, criminal defense, family law, bankruptcy, and more. Call today to set up your free consultation, where you'll get clear answers, honest guidance, and a plan built around your needs. Online at southerninjurylaw.com. This is an advertisement. Andy Davis, attorney at law, responsible for content. No representation is made that the quality of legal services is greater than that of other lawyers.
Looking to make a difference in Franklin County? The Franklin County Prevention Coalition works every day to build a safer, healthier community, free from substance misuse. Through education, outreach, and strong local partnerships, they empower parents, schools, and leaders to prevent addiction and support positive choices. From youth programs to community events, the coalition is here for you. Learn more or get involved today at fcpctn.org. Together, we prevent.
This project is funded under a grant contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
Farmers, gardeners, and homeowners. Franklin Farmers Co-op in Winchester is your one-stop shop. From top-quality feed and seed to fencing, equipment, and even pet supplies. We have everything you need to keep your farm or home running smoothly. Our knowledgeable team is here to help you every step of the way. Stop by Franklin Farmers Co-op, conveniently located at 2229 Deckard Boulevard, or give us a call at 931-967-5511. Franklin Farmers Co-op, rooted in your success, growing with your community.
Good morning, Deckard.
Good morning, WCDT.
How are you guys this morning?
We are fantastic. Today is field day at Deckard Elementary School, so we've got 415 kids hopped up and ready to go.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I tell you what, to start off our field day perfectly on this beautiful Friday morning, I guess, why don't we have an absolutely wonderful pledge?
I think we've got kindergarten ready to give their best pledge yet.
All right, let's hear it.
Good morning, Franklin County. Please join Deckard Elementary as we salute and pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That was absolutely beautiful this morning. Great job, guys.
All right, who's got our joke this morning? All right, tell me your name.
Christina,
All right, ask me a joke.
why shouldn't you tell secrets in a cornfield?
I don't know.
Too many ears.
That's a cute one. All right. Well, y'all have a wonderful field day, okay, Deckard?
Y'all too. Thank you so much.
See ya.
All right. Good job by them. Let's go out to Heath Automotive this morning.
Okay.
Before we bring in Sammy D. Sammy D on duty. So just wrapping up some thoughts on this NFL stuff. I don't think Sammy D's much of an NFL guy. I do think that he would be all for Neyland Stadium Lego.
Absolutely.
But again, in looking at some of these things, other teams that I expect to take steps back, the Broncos, who had 68 sacks, led the league by 11 sacks. That's not sustainable. They had one of the better defenses in the league. Again, what happens when you've got teams of quality like that that have a lot of success? Guys leave, coaches leave, they move on. That's part of the reason for the parity in the league. All right, speaking of somebody who's always consistent, and in fact, they helped me out just earlier this week. We'll go out over to Heath Automotive. Steve on the line with us this morning. Good morning, Steve. How are you today?
Good morning, Joe. I'm doing great.
So just to pull back the curtain for folks on some things, Katie and I have a Suburban, which was making some funny noises, and she has told me about it, that it's making this weird, and she described it as a shuddering, Chewy. And I'm like, what are we talking about here? So about a week or two ago, I jumped in there, and I'm driving up the road, Sam, and I hear what sounds like more of a squealing than a shuddering. And I'm like, yeah, we probably need to get this in and get it looked at over at Heath. But it's not like terrible. I think we've got time. Until like 2 or 3 days later, she says, yeah, so that noise it's worse. I get back into it. A little bit of squealing turned into a grinding. And so we run it over there to Heath Automotive. And I got to tell you what, I'm certainly embarrassed, because I talk to this guy twice a week about noises and taking care of your vehicle and all these things. And sure enough, the brakes and all the things, they were just a mess on this thing. And we've never really even considered checking them. We bring it over there, and we've had some issues with the vehicles in the past where we bring them over there and we fix that issue. But golly, Steve, if it wasn't for y'all, I don't know what we would have done this week.
Well, the noise was when you have metal on metal and no brake pad left. That makes a very distinctive noise. It gets your attention.
Yeah.
So we were grinding off the rear rotor on the outboard side.
Yeah, that's never a good
thing. So it happens, and but I guess the moral to the story is don't ignore your wife all the time. You need to pay attention. Sometimes they're right. So
don't give her any more ammo. She doesn't need any more ammo, Steve.
Steve, you made my day. So,
yeah, it was very interesting learning lesson there for me. Now, let me ask you this. Because I don't recall the vehicle going through this period, but don't brake pads have a period of time that they go through where, as they get to a certain point when they need to be replaced, they squeal on purpose?
Joe, most pads used to, and you don't see it as much anymore, hardly any anymore. Used to have what we call a squealer, and it would be a noise indicator. It would be soft metal that extended slightly beyond the replacement measurement on a disc brake pad. And when that soft metal would then, when it wore down to the point where that came in contact with the rotor, it would make a very obnoxious squealing sound to make you say, okay, let's go in and get this checked. It shouldn't be making this noise. And unfortunately on yours, your obnoxious noise was the actual steel backing plate on the pad when there was no more friction material left that was crunching the rotor off. Matter of fact, to the point on it even nailed one of your calipers on the back. We had to replace the caliper as well.
Brutal. It was
yes,
brutal.
You're correct. There used to be a noise indicator, and you even have some vehicles that will have a little attachment on there that when it shorts out, when the rotor comes in contact with it, it will turn a light on. Mainly your European cars have this. Almost all European cars will have, and you'll get a message on your dash saying check brakes or you get a brake icon or something like that.
Yeah.
And that is the wear sensor on most European cars on disc brakes.
Well, it is interesting. You'd think with such an important piece of the vehicle's process that we got things that tell when the tires are going soft, but we don't have things that tell, I guess, when the brakes are going bad or getting worn down. But that's on me. But I didn't know. We take it in fairly regularly, and I didn't even know that we were getting low on the brakes. How can I in the future avoid wearing my vehicle out like that to a point where I'm putting not only my family in danger, but the vehicle, obviously the repair costs a lot more than it should have.
Sure. Yeah, it did some extra damage there that typically can be avoided, especially since it was on the rear. Many times on the rear when it's time for brakes, rear rotors will last better than the fronts because they don't do as much of the braking. So many times you can take care of your brake situation with just pads on the rear. You don't always have to replace the rotors. The rotors are much more expensive than pads. And, of course, we also had damage to the caliper that ran up the bill as well. What you've recently gotten, fairly recently gotten tires on there.
Yeah.
You should be coming in periodically, and we recommend every 5,000 miles for the tire rotation, and that is the perfect time to, gauge those brakes, make sure everything's functioning properly there. Never hurts to remind them. They're good about checking that when you come in for service, but that doesn't always get relayed back to the customer. Remind when you check your vehicle in or you're doing the repair order, it's always a great idea if you have any concerns about your brakes to just tell them, note on there, let me know about the brake pads and brake wear.
Yeah.
And but that's why that we really harp about, you get a free tire rotation when you buy tires here. Take advantage of that because that inspection, getting it up on the lift, pulling the wheels when you're rotating the tires, and then you can keep up with it and catch things a whole lot better than waiting to sometimes where it's a gotcha moment.
Well, now I'm going to have to bring it back in because I'm fairly certain it's been beyond 5,000 miles since we had the tires rotated, and we were so focused on the brakes, I don't think we rotated the tires. So,
very possible, yeah. You holler at us and let's do that. Rotation doesn't take long. That's an easy one. So, but it is a great time you get an undercar inspection, and that's why we sell so many tires when we've got our customers. They're programmed to bring it in every 5,000 and get them rotated. It's just like I had a Volkswagen Atlas came in yesterday. Good customer. Been dealing with them for years, and she dropped off, and she said, it's time for rotation and balance. I'm kind of past due on that. I'm getting a bad ride. These are the original tires, and she had just over 50,000 miles on her Volkswagen Atlas. She said, kind of let me know how the tires are. Well, before we even got into Bay, I went out and kind of did that touch test on the tread depth.
Right.
And when I pricked my fingers on the steel that was hanging out of the tire, on the inside, see, it doesn't show up. And that was her comment when I called her to tell her, it's unsafe to drive. We've got to get you some tires on.
Yeah.
She said, I've been looking at my tires and know they were getting close, but they looked okay. And I said, well, what you're seeing looked okay, but it's that hidden wear on the inside that you don't walk around and see.
Right.
And you've actually got the steel cord hanging out.
Yeah.
So,
you mentioned something with the 5,000 miles as well, because a lot of these, sometimes these quick change oil place type of places, they'll pop up and you're like, oh yeah, let me run in there and in 10 minutes I can get my oil change and stuff. But you just said something that if you get the tires done over there at Heath Automotive, well then when you need the oil change every 5,000 miles, you can also do the tire rotation as well because it's something that you guys include.
Right. Majority of our customers, Joe, we sell a lot of a lot of tires. We sold almost 50 tires yesterday. And a lot of those are going to come in every 5,000 miles and get them rotated and all. Rather than make 2 trips, get it all done with one time, they will tie in their oil, lube, and filter service, checking all the safety inspection, checking all your fluids, getting that all topped off, your oil change and your filter and all, and do the tire rotation at the same time. If they need to be rebalanced, when you buy new tires from us, we do a lifetime free balance. So we don't automatically, and I caution customers, we're not going to automatically check your balance every time you come in for rotation, but give us a heads up. Say, hey, I'm here for rotation, and I may be feeling something. Let's check the balance. Absolutely. That's free for the life of the tire. But you're not making separate trips in. Do it all at one time. Whatever's convenient. You can wait with us in our waiting room. We'll pick it up for you from work or school or hospital or, the courthouse or bank or whatnot. Around here, we do that every day. Or drop it off. We've got a key lock, a box, a drop box. We opened it up this morning. We had 3 sets of keys that had been dropped last night or before we get here. We try to keep it convenient for the customer. We've all got different needs, different schedules, different things pressing us each day, and we try to make it as easy as possible to get things handled. So you don't have that excuse to say, well, I just didn't have time.
Yeah, well, and you guys have a great location as well. Tell them where they can find you.
We're in Winchester, 501 First Avenue Southwest. That's 4 blocks off the square. Give us a call, 967-3880.
You find them on the web as well at heathautomotivetire.com. All right, Steve, I appreciate you, brother. Have a great weekend.
Y'all take care.
That is Steve over at Heath Automotive. All right. Sammy D, how are you this morning?
Well, boys, how are y'all?
We are still recovering from last night. That was so stressful.
Yeah, how was that?
Well, the event was great. Chewy and I didn't get to really enjoy it or appreciate it the way that everybody else did, because the whole time we're freaking out that the thing's gonna drop, trying to fix the sound issues because the wireless mics were cutting in and out, things like that. And there's a lot of people that have, they care a lot about what's going on out there, and so it was a lot of weight for us to carry yesterday. We both need a nap, is what we need.
I picked up smoking again.
Yeah.
I went home, as soon as I left, as soon as I was able to get out of the parking lot, I just went and I bought 4 packs of cigarettes.
Just smoked them all.
Every single one of them.
Is that why you moved the couch in here so you could nap while on the radio?
Yeah, that would have been a good idea for this morning.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I'm excited to have you in, brother. When we come back, Sammy D in studio. We'll see if he's got any jokes this morning. He's an officer. He's a little stinky this morning because he's been on duty. Walter he's been asking all week. You got to tell that joke on Friday when Sammy D comes in. Anyway, all right, we'll be back on the other side. It is a What the Florida Friday here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester.
The Tennessee Lifeline Peer Project connects individuals and families to addiction recovery resources right here in Franklin County and across our region. From treatment referrals and 12-step meetings to education and ongoing support. Because recovery happens when we're stronger together, and life truly is stronger without it. Learn more at fcpctn.org/TNLifeline or call 931-464-0725. Funded under a grant contract with the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
Dr. Susan J. Laws at the Eye Care Center proudly congratulates the graduating seniors of Franklin County and Huntland High Schools, class of 2026. Today marks a major milestone and the beginning of an exciting new chapter. Your hard work, determination, and focus have brought you to this moment. So, as you look ahead, keep your vision clear and your goals in sight. Your community is proud of you and cheering you on. Congratulations from Dr. Susan J. Laws.
From the 931 Go Weather Center, it's time for an ESPN Radio Winchester weather update, presented by Pennett's Pharmacy.
More warm weather headed your way. Today's going to be a bright, sunny day with a high of 79 degrees this afternoon. Calm winds becoming around 5 miles per hour in the morning and staying that way for the rest of the day to keep you nice and cool on this hot summer's day. Stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester for all of your wonderful weather updates.
At Bennett's Pharmacy in Winchester, we're more than a pharmacy. We're your partner in health. Conveniently located at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard, we're here to serve you with fast, friendly, and personalized service. Need prescriptions filled? Looking for over-the-counter products? We've got you covered. Plus, enjoy local delivery and expert advice from our caring team. Call us today at 931-967-2777 or stop by Bennett's Pharmacy at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard today.
Well, that was an interesting last segment. Let's try that again. Back to Joe Abraham and Chewy. This is the starting lineup on ESPN Radio Winchester.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT, Winchester. Joe Abraham alongside Chewy. And now, in studio with us, the man, the myth, the legend.
When chaos looms and justice hangs by a thread, there's only one man to call. Sam Davidson.
Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, buddy. I love it every time, like, Joe's trying to pause for production, and I see the panic in your eyes over there. You're like trying to get the something wasn't working right there. I don't know what was happening.
These mice go to sleep, so they save battery. So you have to click it to wake it up. And I'll hover the mouse over your button, waiting for it, and then it'll die, and I'll go click, and then I'll sit there and nothing happens, and I'm like, ah. There's a red-tailed hawk outside, okay?
Oh, yeah?
And it does screech very similarly to the thing in this, and so every time I go out there and I hear that, I'm like, Sammy D's nearby. You know? it's like the bat signal, you know?
That's right.
Sammy D, are you much for, like, UFC?
You know, I used to spend a lot of time watching UFC.
Right.
Yeah, back. So, full disclosure, growing up, me and some friends of mine used to go and rent the videotapes.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the UFC videotapes?
Absolutely. So this may,
Really?
yeah. So like,
what year are we talking?
That's a great question. I was like maybe 10.
Was it around here?
So this was like pre.
No, this was in West Tennessee. A little shout out to Video Corner. It's now closed.
Okay, I was about to wonder.
But this was like pre-UFC, like modern MMA then.
Yes. So
before it became mainstream.
Yes. So what it was, so on the videotape, you would have a group of fighters, and it was done bracket style, and there were no weight classes.
Oh.
So you may have a 165-pounder fighting a sumo wrestler.
Wow.
It was incredible.
That's actually, I would watch that.
So
and that's where Hoist Gracie got really popular, was from those early UFCs.
It brings me back to, and you and I have talked about the video games and the WWE, I guess it was WCW, the video game that we used to play, and then in the basement we're wrestling our friends and all these types of things. For me, we got really into wrestling in the 90s, but when you said videotape and you start going down this road, man, I just got like a flash of Sammy D in what year would that have been, like early 90s?
Yeah, early 90s.
Classic.
You said you called it Video Corner. There was I used to have a really, really soft spot for the mom and pop video rentals.
Yeah, that's what this was.
Yeah. And they would always have like the low budget, like Roger Corman movies. Like they were there from the day they were there to the day that they weren't. You know what I mean?
I feel like lighting back in the 90s was warmer. You know, is that just how I'm remembering it?
No, you're right. No, like
or did the world appear warmer?
LEDs have taken over for the past 30 years.
Yeah, I think you're right. But just to jump back to the UFC question, I can remember going and renting those, and there would be me and a group of friends, and we're sitting there, and everybody's like huddled around a TV that's probably comparable now to the size of
big old 19-incher,
like a PC, like a PC screen.
Sure.
And everybody's just so excited, and just watching those guys fight for their lives.
Lambo jumped in, just said, Dan the Beast Severn.
Severn.
I trained with him before and helped his son train for Wrestling State Championship. Love MMA. Dan Severn is an old school UFC. Oh, interesting stuff.
The reason I ask is because this weekend Ronda Rousey is fighting Gina Carano.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now Gina hasn't fought for like 10 years or something like that.
She's been fighting Disney.
It's been longer than that, actually. It's probably been like 15 years.
Screw you
since
guys.
she's
That was
fought.
a good joke.
I heard it.
Okay, thank you.
I
that was
see
funny.
you,
My
Chewy.
comedic talents are wasted.
Ronda hasn't fought in a while either, but obviously two like pretty big titans in women's MMA, and they're fighting on Netflix.
What?
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, it's like if you got Netflix, it's free to watch, right? And there's a pretty good undercard as well. But I gotta say, in a world of MMA, I'm pretty excited about it. Again, I get that they're both older, past their prime, all the things, but it led me to wonder who you guys got, who you pulling for.
I'm going Ronda because she played in Mortal Kombat. They actually like mocapped and voiced her for Mortal Kombat to play Sonya Blade. So I'm hoping to see some Mortal Kombat finishers at the end.
All right.
Also, Gina Carano she kind of gets on my nerves.
Yeah, I was just sitting here. Funny enough, on the way in this morning, I was listening to a interview with Dana White, and he was talking about the first time he spoke to Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
And how that may have been what pushed him over the edge to bring in women, because at that time he was having trouble selling men fighting.
Right.
And I think she's the one that convinced him. Also, just check the odds on this fight. If this is true, looks like the money line's minus 600 to minus 650 Rousey. So Gina's a huge underdog, at least by Vegas standards.
Right.
For that reason, give me Gina.
Yeah, I think Ronda will win, but I actually like Gina.
Mm-hmm.
Now I like them both, the intensity and things like that, but I don't know. I'm just excited about it. I think it's kind of cool. I don't have any more like breakdown than that. I came
Other than
across it.
You're hyped.
I came across it and I was like, oh man, that's cool. I'm excited.
I think it's going to be a huge draw. I think there'll be a ton of people watching.
Brett Crabtree just jumped in saying the VHS tapes where I saw the UFC at the beginning, also, they were brutal, he says.
Absolutely.
I imagine it would be, like, unregulated. When you're saying, like, you got huge people versus, like, the small guys, that's probably prone to some accidents.
When I said they're in there fighting for their lives, I meant that.
Like, literally fighting,
yes.
Yeah. Christopher Lambert jumped back in saying Diaz versus Perry is the real fight. Ronda fight is funny. Ronda was overrated.
So yeah, the Diaz there. So this is the card. There's Diaz, Perry, Rousey, Carano, and then Francis Ngannou. That one's a good one versus Linz. I don't know Linz. This Linz guy's 18-5, but Ngannou is 18-3, and there's didn't he have like the belt taken away from him or something like that? One of the guys in the chat will tell me.
Yeah.
But this card is actually no joke. This Netflix card is actually pretty impressive. But that's the one. The Rousey Carano one is the one that I really want to see those two go at.
Yeah, I was sitting there looking at that card. My goodness, it looks like there's 20 fights on there.
Yeah, so it's tomorrow. At the Intuit Dome.
Brett says Carano all day. Okay. So we're split.
Yeah.
I like this. I love it when people disagree like this.
Anyway, all right.
Peacefully disagree.
Yeah, it's fun.
Man, it brings me back to, I still think that we should throw up a little like a ring here at the station, put it up in the backyard, and do like celebrity
deathmatch. Actually kill each other.
Local.
If you've got a beef with another business owner, bring a knife.
Take Where's the Beef Wednesday to the next level.
We're eating the losers.
Oh gosh. Anyway, all right. So what do you got going? It's a good segue to what do the police have going on here in town?
Sammy, do you understand if we can't invite you to that?
What?
I will not be in attendance.
Guys, don't tell Sammy D when it's going to be. That Wednesday.
First rule of Fight Club.
Don't tell Sammy D.
All right, moving on.
Yes. So what's up?
This week has been a great week. We've done, it's the end of the school year, and a lot of the schools are having field days and career days and all those things, and Sheriff Fuller always encourages us to be out in the community and being involved, and we've been able to do that this week, whether it be going to different field days and dropping in and having fun, or yesterday we were able to we were at Rock Creek's career day and had a big time over there. We had a couple of K-9s out there. I was there speaking. Sheriff Fuller was there speaking. It was a fun day, and this is kind of if it was a sports game, we would call this garbage time, right? Like it's the end of the school year, they're not really learning that much.
So my boys the other day, they're like, we don't even do anything in school anymore.
No, they've done it all. They've studied, they've taken their test, and they're really just kind of having fun. And that gives us an opportunity to stop by the schools and really hang out with the kids and build those meaningful relationships. And we all love the end of the school year because that means we get to go to the schools and do different things. And it may be just as simple as stopping by the playground one day and saying, hey, what's going on, guys? Can we help? Can we participate?
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing that you guys do, and I shout out to Sheriff Fuller and all of the deputies and everybody out there who works at that. Making, you've said this a lot, and I like that you reiterate it a lot. Is making a positive impact at a young age, as much as you can. You guys, you're not just visible from a protecting perspective. You're also visible, like you said, with this youth. Like I see you out there all the time. Anywhere I go to an event. Even craft fairs, school events, there's always somebody from the sheriff's department, if not Fuller himself or you or somebody out there just making a positive presence. And a lot of the time, not even in a protecting capacity. They just they want to actively participate. And so shout out to our Franklin County Sheriff's Office for that. That takes effort. That's people going out of their way to do that. And I think it shows the merit of what you guys do and that you care. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And one of the things that, we've talked about this a million times, but it's worth repeating, is our SROs are doing that every day.
Yes.
And hats off to them. They do a phenomenal job doing that, building those relationships. And I do use that phrase a lot, but that's what they are. They're relationships. And having a meaningful interaction with officers when it's not an enforcement type situation, that's important.
Mm-hmm.
That may be more important. That may change some young man or young woman's life and change the path that they're on, and maybe take them from a negative path to a positive path. And I'm proud to be a part of a department that puts so much emphasis on that, and the community seems to appreciate it, and they respond very well to it.
Sorry, I'm looking at Florida Man headlines. Just got distracted.
So something else though that I want to bring up. We talked a little bit last Friday. We had a graduation. We've got another one tonight. Everybody out there, this may be, people may think of this weekend as a bit of a party weekend. Please be careful.
Right.
Absolutely. Everybody in the community wants folks to have a good time and enjoy after they've graduated, but that does not mean drinking and driving. That does not mean using illegal substances. We don't want any of that. We just want folks to have a good time and be proud of their accomplishments and do things safely.
So, Sammy D, we talked about graduation yesterday. What year did you graduate?
2001 and 2005.
Okay. So I was class of 06, and I think that one of the questions that I had for you is these days you got like project graduation and some of these other things that pop up to keep kids safe. How have you guys seen things change, I guess, since you and I were graduating? How do the kids behave these days versus back then? Is it the same, like, where that stuff really never changes, or is there different things to be concerned about? What should parents maybe be aware of, or is that something that you guys kind of have your finger on?
Yeah, project graduation was around when I graduated.
Okay,
and
maybe it was just my school. They didn't care as much about us. I don't know
yeah. No, that was around, and honestly, I don't think things have changed in a negative way. I don't believe that. There's always going to be a small percentage of kids that are going to do things they shouldn't. It was that way when I was a kid. It was probably that way when my parents graduated.
Right.
But for the most part, I think kids now want to be safer, and the culture and everything has changed. So I think kids now are probably more safe than when you and I graduated in the 2000s.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. Like I
can see that.
We see less kids doing illegal substances. I think it's probably safer now than it was then.
Very cool.
In that aspect.
Good job by them.
Yeah.
So Brett Crabtree did jump in, though. He said, Sam Caroline said she saw you, and she actually called you Sammy D.
Yes. I was out at, like I said, I was out at Rock Creek, and, I answer to a bunch of names over there. I get called Presley's dad, Creed's dad, Coach Sam, Sammy D. And, yeah, it's...
man of many titles.
Yeah, I don't know what they're worth, but I do enjoy when somebody recognizes me from the ball field or from my kids. That's a great thing, and yeah. And the other one that I get a bunch is Officer Sam, and I love that one because those are generally kids I've interacted with at school, and they see me out in the community.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not dressed the same, they remember, and we've had a good interaction. So. That's always pleasant.
Katie Abraham jumped in saying, so FCSO is always sneaky, in reference to Walter's joke. Christopher Lambert also jumped back in saying, our graduation class went to a campground, bought a keg, and had a party. I was at home on house arrest. That's my favorite story.
Did they go to the Moon Tower? Like, is that what it was?
Yeah.
No, did you get the reference?
I got you. That's cute.
I don't think Joe did.
No, I didn't get that one. But I was more laughing at Lambo, the story. So as far as and you mentioned, the ball fields. As far as the baseball team goes, you guys still rock and roll?
Oh yeah, we just had
that's
making
what I'm
kids
talking
cry.
about,
You handed out some cupcakes this past week.
Living their heads rent free. Golly, diabolical.
So last night we had hitting practice.
Yeah.
And kids are smoking the ball.
Yeah.
I can honestly say that, as someone who doesn't watch a lot of sports but appreciates them, the Dust Devils are my favorite sports team right now.
I love
period.
that. I love that.
The success, the diabolical tendencies, it's all just perfect. I love it.
Dude, we should go to a game.
Yes.
Maybe we'll get lucky enough to get a cupcake afterwards.
We need to make Dust Devil shirts. I would show up in a Dust Devil shirt. Easy.
Oh, man.
You know what? I'll give you the one from last year,
dude.
You can show up.
Nice.
A lot of our parents show up in the shirts, and we got a big game tomorrow. The battle of the two undefeated teams. There's only two of us left.
Oh man,
dude!
And we play tomorrow.
I just got goosebumps.
It's a big deal.
Dang.
And what makes it awesome is they've got a great coach. He's probably the best coach in the league. And
second best.
No, he's probably the best.
Oh.
And he and I coached together in the fall. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So y'all have been talking. Have y'all been talking to each other much since up to this point?
Oh yeah, we talk. Every time we're at the ball field, we chat.
Yeah.
And,
so y'all know, like we're.
Yeah. Like great family. He's got a great son. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. So and I know he is too. Because what's funny is, let's see, 1, 2, 3 of, I believe 3 of his players, we coached together in the fall.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, great.
So,
all right.
It's there's a tight-knit community over there of kids that age that have played together, last spring, some in the summer, and then the fall. So, yep, it's gonna be a heck of a game.
I'm looking forward to hearing about this. Where is it going to be located? Can people go and watch?
Yeah, over at Estill City Park.
Estill City Park.
Field
okay.
3.
All right.
You guys might need to come out and broadcast.
Yeah, we might need to get out there. I don't know about the broadcasting part, but we need a day off. Jeez.
Yeah. Go get rowdy at the baseball field.
We'll grab some Slim Jims and pretend to broadcast into our Slim Jims.
Yeah, you guys can run the scoreboard.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You know what we could do, and we've talked about this in the past. Have Chewy and Katie broadcast a game.
Okay, seriously though, that would be so funny. Like if they do Pink Out again next year, me and Katie need to do the color for that.
Yeah. Yep. Up to bat now. It looks like that's what does that jersey say? Johnson. Okay.
Yes, that's exactly. Yeah. He's going to hit the ball, touchdown, right over the fence.
I can see Katie. Did you see the third baseman's? Did you see her hair? How nice that looked.
Oh dear, I'm all about it. Katie says she's in. So Brett Crabtree said, "Dust Devils make me think of little handheld dustbuster things." Oh yeah, I remember those. Do you remember those? Yeah. And then Brett Crabtree says they should have been your logo. That would have been funny.
That would have been a little vacuum.
A little vacuum with devil horns.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, see, there is a team called the Dirt Devils, and we've already played them once.
Oh, okay. And you vacuumed them up.
We did beat them.
Excellent. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to this. I hope it goes well. And,
Chewy, I hope to see you.
Yeah.
You can come and sit with Presley, and she'll tell you all about baseball and who's,
So what's the bat for?
All right, let's get a quick break in here. When we come back, we got some Florida Man stuff to get into on a What the Florida Friday. You're tuned in to the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio 1340, 106.9 WCDT Winchester.
No two patients are alike. High Point Health with Ascension St. Thomas delivers care centered around your health, your goals, your story, your recovery. From routine checkups to critical procedures, we use today's medical technology and advanced clinical practices to help you feel better, recover faster, and return home to the community you love. We don't just specialize in care, we specialize in you. Learn more at highpointhealthsystem.com.
Out with the cold, in with the comfort. Refresh your home with Hall Furniture in Winchester. From stylish living room sets to cozy recliners and dining pieces made for gathering, now's the perfect time to upgrade your space. Quality, comfort, and pieces you'll love coming home to. That's Hall Furniture. Visit them at 3131 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or browse anytime at hallfurniture.com. Hall Furniture. Make your home feel brand new.
This is ESPN Radio Winchester, where Franklin County comes to life. From local news and athletics to everything in between, we're proud to bring you the stories that matter right here at home. And it's all made possible by local businesses connecting with real people in our community every single day. When you support them, you support our local coverage. Over 75 years of Franklin County heritage. Want your business to be a part of it? Contact WCDT today. ESPN Radio Winchester. Franklin County plays here.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
The Winchester City Council has moved forward with its proposed 2027 fiscal year budget with the first reading on May 12th at City Hall. The proposed budget totals $14.5 million in expenditures, while projected revenue stands at approximately $16.39 million, representing a roughly 31% increase over last year's $12.54 million in revenue. City officials say the increase is largely driven by economic growth and approximately $3.94 million in grant funding. The drafted budget did not include property tax increases and provided a 4% cost of living and merit raise for city employees. However, rising healthcare insurance costs have sparked concern. Insurance premiums are projected to increase by 18%. which prompted Councilman Mike Foster to question whether the proposed raises will truly benefit employees. Foster warned that without additional action to offset the insurance hikes, the city risks losing workers. Finance Director John Pritt described the current proposal as a baseline, noting the council still has flexibility to adjust figures before the final approval. The budget will also fund 4 new full-time positions, including a patrol officer, a firefighter, a human resource employee, and an engineering intern. Major capital projects include $2.7 million for Phase 1 of the City Hall renovation and expansion project, with the overall low bid for the full project coming in at $6 million. Additional capital purchases included $150,000 for a tracked skid steer loader, and another $150,000 for solar lighting upgrades at the Bass Club, tennis courts, and Adventure Mountain Playground. During an appearance on ESPN Radio Winchester's The Starting Lineup, Winchester City Mayor Sean Crabtree emphasized that changes tied to growth and development will not happen overnight, adding that continued community support and patience will be key as projects move forward. For more details on this story and more, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
When it comes to caring for your loved ones, choose a name you can trust. Inhabit Home Health in Winchester, located at 2068 Cowan Highway. We're here to provide compassionate professional care right in the comfort of your own home. From skilled nursing to therapy services, our team is dedicated to helping you or your loved ones achieve the best quality of life. Call Inhabit Home Health today at 931-967-0633 to learn more about our personalized care plans.
Joe had to mix up some more pre-workout, but he's ready to go another round. Back to the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio Winchester.
All right, back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 106.9 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham alongside Chewy and Sammy D. Chewy, later today, Jonathan Rice coming in studio with you, right?
He is, and possibly even maybe doing some music or something.
Oh yeah.
So there's that possibility, but I'm looking forward to it. I've been hearing a lot of really good things about him from
very talented young man.
Katie has also a shout out to her. She was the one who sort of set up this whole meeting and let me know about him. So shout out to Katie. Thank you for that.
Well, some of the other things that we've got going on that you guys might want to be aware of, Backstage Pawn continues with their sale, 10% off on all knives in stock. Again, they've got brands like Case and Benchmade and other things like that, so you're going to want to check them out. And Chewy, again, leftovers. So as far as we go, each and every day when we do the pledge, it is presented by the folks over there at Tennessee Cardiology and Dr. Basaraba's office. And I encourage people that if they see Dr. Basaraba or anybody from that office to just thank them, because that's a really cool thing that we get to do each morning. And I don't think it gets enough appreciation. We kind of just fell into it and took it over as a part of the show. But that is a really cool thing that Deckard Elementary were able to do with them. All right, we're going to transition now, gentlemen, to our Florida Man stuff. And the first story that I've got, we recently had Mother's Day. And for some people, it's a time to kind of appreciate their mothers. Gentlemen, for others, like Keo Nottage, 29, who allegedly told his family that someone is going to die today on Mother's Day before retrieving a knife from the kitchen and stabbing his grandmother 11 times.
What? Oh my gosh!
Yeah, went over there for Mother's Day dinner and just lost it.
Is there any context on that, or?
The victim told police, so the victim survived. Nottage apparently or allegedly.
Oh, she didn't die.
No, she didn't die. Became increasingly agitated and said, "Someone is going to die today," before retrieving a knife from the kitchen, according to court documents. stabbed her 11 times.
And lived.
Maybe it was a butter knife. I don't know.
That's impressive.
You know, you really started this thing out pretty dark, Joe.
It gets better from here.
Okay, good.
So, yeah. Hopefully your Mother's Day went better than that. Number 2, Florida man arrested. Chewy, this is important for you to know. For drone flying, I didn't know that this was an actual thing. Under the influence.
That's a thing in Florida?
What?
Yeah. Apparently, he was.
Dude, I'd be in so much trouble.
Under the influence of alcohol. 34-year-old Richard Carpenter was operating a small drone just after midnight on May 4th in the area of Martin Luther King Jr. Street in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Oh, okay.
Now
I see why he got arrested.
Here's the thing: he was flying his drone while intoxicated at a very low altitude, moving it back and forth near a vehicle and its open driver's side window at speeds that could have caused injury or property damage. Here's the thing: I've seen some people fly these drones, and half of them look like they're flying them, under the influence anyway.
That's
even
just
when they're
because
not.
they're bad drivers,
Right?
Bad flyers,
Bad
operators.
flyers.
What do you?
I don't know what we'd call that.
I think it's an operator.
Operator sounds right.
Yeah. Have you ever flown a drone?
I have.
Pilot?
I mean, you're a drone pilot, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just kind of
right.
I feel like if you can only call yourself a drone pilot if you're actually like in the Air Force driving like one of the
Right.
It has to be like
That's-
16
yeah,
feet or
yeah,
wider.
like,
you
that's
know?
the way I
It's like a
feel.
glorified RC.
You know how like
car.
astronaut like they lifted the requirements a little bit,
Yeah.
so like now these tourists aren't called astronauts. It's the same thing for pilots.
I don't
you
know,
know?
Chewy.
Yeah, I mean, and I have drones are an incredible tool
Yeah.
for law enforcement, for media, for I
was
mean,
gonna
it's
ask
just
you,
amazing.
Do you guys already incorporate those?
So our office doesn't have any yet. We're trying to get those. They are really expensive, and because of a state law, we are restricted to buy ones that are manufactured in the United States, even though they're about.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so there's
they're-
like one brand probably that sells them.
Yeah. So
Well,
they're really expensive, but there are other departments in the county that have them, and we use those, and they are quite effective.
Are they like little ones, or how big do they get?
So, I mean,
Yeah,
the
just like
ones that
regular-
everybody have is pretty much
Yeah.
they're about this big.
I would say, you know how they sell the insurance, like the 2 or 3 year insurance, $7, and you get the insurance. I would say get the insurance on it.
Well, we looked at, and we're probably going to do this one. Some of the smaller ones, the little minis,
Yeah.
for use in buildings.
Yeah.
Because you can put them on safe mode, and you can fly in and clear an entire building without
Right.
having to send a person in there.
Do they have like rotor protectors on them?
They do.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
So
those
can-
are good. You can bounce off walls. And
Yep,
stuff.
you can bounce off
My bad.
walls and all that. So
There you
yeah.
go.
Got a correction here.
What did I
Yeah,
say?
You said
What did I-
Jonathan Rice instead of Jeremiah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was actually my fault because I told a joke in a break about someone
Jonathan.
called Jonathan. And
Yes, that was the grasshopper joke you
Yeah.
told.
Graciously being released from school to be here at 3.
Jeremiah
Okay.
Rice.
So
Sorry,
he will be
that's
here
my
at-
fault.
He will be here at 3 o'clock. Sorry, Jeremiah, you're not a grasshopper.
All right. So next.
So was the charge was it reckless endangerment? Is that did it actually spell out what the charge was?
Let me go back here. Don't drink and drone.
Drink and drone.
It
Oh my
says-
God, I can't wait for those commercials.
In the U.S., Federal Aviation Administration classifies drones, even small ones, as aircraft.
You're kidding.
He was arrested by the St. Petersburg Police Department and charged with operating an aircraft while intoxicated in a careless or reckless manner. Released from county jail after posting bonds totaling $150,000 on felony and misdemeanor charges.
That seems excessive.
I think that we need to delineate between aircraft and drone. A craft is a craft. A
Yeah.
drone is a drone.
Now, at the
And
same
there's
time,
a big difference between a half-pound drone,
Right.
and
Sammy D, what do we got to do to get that pushed through legislation?
I will say though, if he was like harassing people with it though, and it was like coming near their head,
Yeah.
I could understand.
But
like
flying
that.
flying an F-15
Right.
versus or a jumbo jet versus flying a drone are two completely different things.
I do. I think
Not in the eyes of the FFA.
Yeah.
Whether you're flying an Airbus or a $20 Sharper Image drone.
Sharper image drone.
FAA, not FFA.
We've got one of those in the store.
We do.
We actually do have like a
Got a
really
couple
cheap
of those,
one.
I think.
Yeah, I'll show you my Sharper image.
Oh gosh.
Hey guys, let's go to the barbecue. That made my day.
Okay, so the next one we got, and this one is actually pretty funny. Florida man impersonates security guard to get into Taylor Swift concert. How bad do you want to go see Taylor Swift?
I've actually already read this story. Go ahead.
So, well, and what this makes me think of is, have you ever seen the videos of the guys who get into any event that they want to by just carrying a ladder in?
Yes.
Ladder,
Yeah.
clipboard, and a reflective vest.
Yeah.
You got it.
Hard hat. You kidding me?
Yeah, nobody stops the guy carrying a ladder.
Sure.
Anyway, Florida man had hours-long junk food feast inside a closed Walgreens. Chewy, what were you doing on July 16th of this past year?
Oh, where were you on July 16th at 7:42 p.m.?
Check the tapes.
Florida man arrested after he indulged in sweets and other various items inside a closed Walgreens for several hours. I came in here to use the bathroom. After being in the restroom for nearly 5 hours, police said that the man began roaming around the store, treating himself to various items, such as Tostitos spinach dip, chips, Reese's chocolate, Giardelli chocolate bars, Dr. Pepper, and Newport cigarettes. I feel like it's a contradiction to sell cigarettes at a pharmacy.
Gotta have some repeat customers.
If you were to not that you ever would, but Chewy, if you were to like break into a Walgreens, what's the first thing you would go for?
Ooh, like
beef jerky.
Nah, I'm a goldfish kind of guy. I'd go after that goldfish, and then after that, I would lock the pharmacy so no one else can get in there.
Yeah,
and obviously you're going to save all the packaging. That way you can pay for it when the store reopens, right?
Absolutely, 100%. I would definitely pay for it with all the money in my pocket.
Chewy's not a criminal yet.
Well, yeah.
Yet.
It depends on what. Apparently I'm in a lot of trouble with the FAA. So,
I can imagine that wanted poster. Just a picture.
It's a blurry, distant photo.
No, yes, they
Everyone tries to take a picture of me, but every single time it's always like a little distorted.
But no, I think they used the picture of you and Bigfoot just hanging. Known associates, Bigfoot.
So that all being said, Sammy D, I did just give you a tip there. If Walgreens starts missing a bunch of, or really any store starts missing a bunch of packages of goldfish, you know who to come after.
I'll mess up some
Suspect
goldfish.
Do you like
one.
the extra cheesy?
No,
goldfish?
I like
You're
just the
regular?
plain original. Pretzel ones go hard too. They're a little salty, but they go hard.
Speaking of a little salty, this one's kind of gross. Florida man takes on bizarre challenge of eating raw chicken.
That's not a
every
challenge. That's a
day.
suicide attempt.
Yeah. Florida man decided to chow down on raw chicken in a daily bizarre challenge to find out if eating raw meat isn't as horrifying as it seems. This gentleman he's got 400,000 Instagram followers, and he has been eating slabs of raw chicken, chugging raw eggs for his 4,000 followers for a few months. He says he plans to eat raw chicken every day until he gets a tummy ache. I gotta follow up on this guy and see if he's still alive.
Salmonella fanatics.
Yeah.
What's his name?
John something.
If he was smart, he would be called Salmonella Man.
Okay, a swing and a miss.
I gotta find that. Okay, now here's my favorite one. We might need to hire this guy to do some work on our radio tower. You made it all the way to the top? ? Florida man arrested after scaling a cell phone tower.
Oh boy.
A Florida man was arrested after he live streamed himself climbing a cellular tower in Hillsborough County. When authorities found him, he was climbing back down the tower after sharing his adventure on social media. You made it all the way to the top, the arresting deputy asked the man. Yeah, the suspect said. That's pretty crazy, the deputy responded. He's taken into custody once he reached the ground. You couldn't pay me enough. I like when I get to the top of a ladder, 6-foot ladder, it starts shaking. I don't like heights. This one
probably a great connection though. For
yeah,
that live stream.
Yeah,
That actually sounds dangerous, though, thinking about that. Like, should you be that close to, like, high-intensity radio signals?
Yeah, I mean, people climb up and down those things, but probably not when it's on.
Yeah, that's
not a good idea.
Right.
Yeah.
So a little follow-up. John.
Yeah.
Did not get sick.
Really?
Wow.
101 days.
Not bad.
Oh gosh, I'm looking at yummy testicle taco. Oh my gosh, this guy's disgusting. This is disgusting.
What website are you on?
I pulled
Joe?
up his Instagram.
Oh,
and the
okay.
second one up there was
Oh, they're like Good Mythical Morning, where they just eat anything.
That's gross.
Well, I've heard people like mountain oysters.
Yeah, no.
They turn them into chips. Have you seen this?
Rocky Mountain oysters are not for me.
Nope, I'm out.
Yep.
You wouldn't try a mountain oyster taco?
No.
That's a funny innuendo. Like, you could totally make a cool
Phrasing.
joke with that one.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us here on a Florida Man, or What the Florida Friday, Florida Man Friday. We've been doing this for quite a while.
I know.
We're running thin on, because even one or two of those, I was like, I think we might have done this one before.
Maybe we need to pivot a little bit.
We need to pivot.
Maybe like go look at Grady's best moments, that kind of thing.
Like Friends pivot.
I don't know what that means.
You don't know that? I don't.
What are we referencing?
The show Friends.
Yeah.
Pivot.
Pivot to what?
Pivot.
Pivot.
I've seen every episode of Friends ever.
In the stairwell.
Where they got the
Oh,
cow.
yeah. Where they're trying to get it around the corner. Or whatever. Yeah,
Family
yeah.
Guy
Okay.
ripped it off. You remember?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
All right.
You can't just pull out random references and expect me to understand every one.
I thought that would have been right up your alley. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. I've slept since then, I guess.
So what do we?
It's been a rough week.
I don't know. We're gonna have to figure out.
We can probably get a few solid months out of Grady Judd.
I think so too.
Yeah. I don't know. If you have any suggestions, feel free to reach out.
Hit us up on the FMO Facebook.
I don't want to get away from Florida Man completely. Like, What the Florida Friday is, it's a thing. We've been doing it for almost 2 years.
Well, it's not What the Florida Man Friday. It's What the Florida Friday. So
Right.
Florida has lots and lots of chaos.
Right.
So, I mean,
Interesting.
talk about any of the chaos down there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
All right.
You know what we could do is possibly, what if we just found crazy headlines and it was Florida or not? Like, was
there you
this
go.
happening
There
in
you
Florida
go.
or not?
There you go.
Yeah. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's how you play the game.
Because then we can use every crazy state.
Exactly.
And we can make Florida more than one state.
Listen, if we bring in California, we got lots of
yeah.
material.
Brett Crabtree, by the way, jumping in and telling you that was the Friends' best episode, by the way. So,
I'll have to go back and find it.
Okay.
And rewatch it.
Hey, that's what we'll do this weekend.
Yeah, sure.
No, you're gonna come watch the Dust Devils.
We gotta come watch
After
it.
we
What
watch
time
the
you guys
Dust
play
Devils.
tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
11:15.
So 11:15. That's actually not a bad time for a T-ball
Estel
game.
Park.
Yeah, man.
What if we could get like, I don't know, 3,000 people at the game?
That would be kind of sick.
The biggest Little League game ever.
That would be
Yes,
awesome.
That would be.
Estel Springs.
Also, bring out your Dustbusters.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's how people show their support. Bring out their
Everybody
old
turns
90s.
them on at the same time.
every time the opponent goes to swing, you turn in unison. All the Dustbusters go on. I don't know if they'd let us do that.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
It's no different than a cowbell.
Good point.
So, who are you guys playing again?
So we're playing the Scrappers.
The Scrappers.
This is going to be a sick game. I'm telling you, dude.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. Lots of fun.
All right.
Bring your cupcakes. All right.
Man, if we had,
For
if we had
Sammy D.
unlimited like,
For Sammy D and Chewy, I am Joe Abraham. Thank you for tuning in this morning, and congratulations to all of the new graduates over there, Franklin County High School. Coming up on the other side, it is Reliable Rentals Swap and Shop, and then later today, on the that show that we do in the afternoon, Unleashed with Chewy.
we've got Jeremiah Lewis coming in this
Jeremiah
afternoon.
Rice.
Jeremiah Rice.
Not Jonathan Rice. Not Jeremiah Lewis.
We got Jeremiah Rice.
Jeremiah Rice.
Guys, I'm sorry. It's been a rough week.
Chewy and I have had a tough 24 hours, okay?
Jeremiah Rice. He is a young man who's a musician and a student who's leaving school to come on the radio this afternoon. Hop on in here. Come show him some love. Also, Tori will be... my better half will be on the other side of the table as well. So if you enjoy us barking at each other, now's your chance to jump in.
I'm gonna lay on the couch. I'll probably be sleeping on the couch the whole show.
I like it.
All right. Appreciate y'all. You've been tuned in to ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
part of this masterpiece, and then Ice and the Owl. It might be. I have heard